Lost Music Network magazine.
Hi, Stuart from Knots Music Network magazine here, and I'm here with Parisa. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Right, so tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Parisa. I live in Nottingham. I'm from Nottingham. I was born in the QMC, and when I came back from university, I started working at the Maze. And I kind of worked my way up in the system, and I started putting on live music events there, which has now been the 9-year beast called Acoustickle. I'm also a performing artist. I'm a singer. I've toured with Origin One, played in different countries and different cities across the UK. Nice. I used to be a backing vocalist for Jedi, I Tafari, a Malawian Rasta who was residing in Nottingham. I'm a solo artist and I've played quite a lot of gigs. And I was also a partner in Can't Stop, Won't Stop, which is a hip-hop soul business with Joe Buda, a record producer. We put on really big Grammy award-winning artists in Nottingham, and really the vibe is about like giving local talent. With Acoustical, it's more like the local underground bubbling artists. And Can't Stop, Won't Stop is more the Grammy award-winning artists. So
right, okay.
We had a nice balance at some point where we were putting locals on alongside these big artists, and it just created a bit of awareness.
Nice, yeah, it's kind of similar to what like the Rescue Rooms do, isn't it? They have touring bands and then their support acts are local bands, which is obviously very cool for the support act.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool. Okay, so you mentioned Acoustical there, and that's principally what you're here to talk about.
Yes.
So tell us what to expect from an acoustical night. What makes an acoustical night?
Acoustical is special because when you enter the room, you're leaving this universe and you're going into a different place where we've got tables and chairs, tablecloths, candles, fairy lights, swaths of fabric, decor, decorated stage and props. And then we have very well-selected performing artists who will kind of showcase their original material. It's very much about creating an atmosphere where the audience gets quite a lot from it. They can just sit down comfortably, have a drink. It's not like a drinky boozy one, although people do get absolutely wasted. We usually have some food being sold outside as well. And like for a lot of years, like Georgie Rose, Jake Bugg, Gallery 47, who's playing again soon, and a lot of rock and indie artists played. But now we've stripped it right the way down to kind of the jazz, soul, R&B, hip hop, reggae sometimes flavors, and that's mostly because that's for me it's an underrepresented kind of field in terms of live performances locally, and I really love rappers and singers and kind of hip hop music. So it was kind of putting a spotlight on what happens in Nottingham because there's so many artists of that kind of style living here. So yeah, that's what you can expect, a bit of jazz.
But basically, so that's you give them a forum to perform, essentially. And yeah. So it started at the Maze?
It started at the Maze in 2009, in March, April. It was just Acoustic Monday, and some artists came. Lance Hume played his sitar. Daniel Beswick, who was part of a group called 25 Past the Skank, he played like a solo acoustic set and blew everybody away. And then did the next one, and Jake Bugg played, I think, and he was like 15 or something at the time. And he was instantly a hit. There was loads of artists that kept coming like that. People were like, wow, they're really good, kind of thing. And they were just ordinary kids and young people that were going to school or college and doing a bit of music on the side, and some of them have just blown.
Nice. That must be quite satisfying for you.
Yeah, it is, but I can't really claim anything towards their fame and glory. I'll just name drop them in order to sell more tickets. Do you know what I mean? Come and discover the next Jake Bugg. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess a credit to Acoustical and to myself is that I take a lot of risks with booking artists, and I'll go for the unsung hero, the unearthed gem. Kind of somebody will like catch my ear, like it's how I met Fraser Lowry, if you know Lowry. No. He is not from Nottingham, I think he's from Oxford, but he's living in Nottingham now. And he was just playing an acoustic set at the Maze. And I went to the toilet, and I came out of the toilet, I was like, this angel is singing on stage, like who is he? I walked up to him and gave him a business card. and then ended up managing him for about a year after that. And he's a phenomenal talent, and he even said to me, I was nearly going to quit, I was nearly going to give up before you came and spoke to me. So it's little things like that, like kind of giving people a little shove to say, you're really talented, like more people need to see you, come on my stage. It's not an open mic unless we schedule in an open mic. Do you know what I mean? You're booked to perform because I personally want to see more of you, and I want more people to see you. Because with like my friends, a lot of my friends are record producers, DJs, fellow artists, guitarists, venue bookers, bar owners. Do you know what I mean? These are the kind of networks you accidentally build over time. So they come to the gigs. So it's a good opportunity for these artists to get seen, and they get booked somewhere else, and the collaborations occur. And yeah, that's just
great. Perfect. Perfect. So when you started it, was it just a case of, right, I'm going to put a night on and see what happens, and then 9 years later, here you still are? Or did you always have a kind of a long-term plan? Or
yes and no. When I started it, what I really wanted to do was to put on stage people that I'd heard were good, but they weren't playing anywhere, and there wasn't really anywhere for them to play. This is like Acoustickle started a year before acoustic rooms at Rescue Room started. Right. Do you know what I mean? So back in the day, I think you could have like occasional kind of gigs at the Maze which suited acoustic, but Gaz and Steph, who were managing it, said to me, look, we get loads of acoustic artists, but we don't know how to fit them in, because they were dealing with lots of punk and ska and big reggae bands come in. So I took a few of those, then I asked a few friends, and then the week after I was getting like some contact, oh, I came to your night, or I heard about this new thing that you're doing. So the month after we put another one on, and then it kind of rolled like once a month on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then Ben Rose from the Alley Cafe and Angel Microbrewery, he came up to me and said, like, can you put it on in the Alley Cafe? I said, okay, cool. So we had one that was free entry, and it was either upstairs in like the small settings or downstairs in the courtyard. We bring a sound system, have like a canopy. And just like all these different kind of artists just kept coming out of the woodwork. Then I'd be like looking for them. And really early on in 2009, I was thinking Nottingham could really blow up. Like it could be absolutely massive. And that kind of motivated me to keep going, and just thinking like people need to hear these artists, like more, like something big could happen. Something big could happen for Acoustickle, from I'm Not From London, for Farmyard Records, for Soundism, for all these different like groups, and we all kind of started working together as well. So every Hockley Hustle, Acoustickle had a stage, or do you know what I mean? Soundism and Acoustickle collaborated. Farmyard, like we all just used to feed each other artists as well, like still do. I get a lot of emails from different types of artists, and I think that's not going to fit what we're doing, but here are some people to contact, and then, you know, I felt like we were creating an ecosystem, and now I still believe that, and I'm kind of scared to leave Nottingham just in case something blows and I like miss out on the buzz. But really, what I think, what our aims are now as Acoustickle is to bring outstanding music from across the world into Nottingham, and to take Nottingham music out across the world.
Yes, you talked about when we spoke before. You talked about taking it nationwide. Yeah,
I mean, I want to travel, and I love music, so it kind of works hand in hand. The dream, and I'm putting this into the universe repeatedly because apparently that works. The dream would be to have one in Paris, in Marseille, in Lisbon, maybe in Spain, in Germany, perhaps Berlin, in New York, maybe in different African countries, like, do you know what I mean? And just kind of move it across the world, because in each of these places there's going to be troves of local talent, so much local talent. And another big thing about Acoustickle is we encourage collaboration. So there's been quite a lot of acts that have performed together for the first time, and probably the only time, together on stage at Acoustickle. Or we've put people together, like Ben and Kai, who perform for Vocab.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're now going all over everywhere, playing as an acoustic duo. We've got, on the birthday gig coming up in April, we've got Georgia Copeland and Nadia Latoya performing together. They're best friends, but they've never really performed together.
Right, okay.
And they're both outstanding R&B soul kind of vocalists. So just like, you know, little things like, oh, that would be nice to hear. Bam, put them together, book them on stage. So really, if you get to travel across the world, just imagine all the different potential collaborations you could have.
Yeah, there's no end of it. I mean, so you would see putting on local artists and maybe a mix of local artists and not artists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And local could be, when you think about the world on that kind of scale, like local New York, and then you could get some like other different states together, and like, you know, someone from Denver, someone from Los Angeles, that kind of thing, and then a couple people from England, maybe from France or whatever. It's just, I just think like giving people opportunity to do great things, and music is very healing for people as well, so to just encourage that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, it's great what you do, because there is a decent music scene in Nottingham, and like you say, the likes of I'm Not From London have certainly kind of helped build
They're an
a
institution.
community. They are an institution.
They are.
And but to see someone doing a specific kind of like a very targeted genre night is quite nice. And I know we spoke about this a little bit. It was up in the Maze. They obviously have open band nights, and I like when I was starting playing in Nottingham, I certainly played the Maze a couple of times, because essentially it was straightforward to get a gig on their Knots in a Nutshell nights. And I know they do kind of have curated nights, but I really like the idea of having a night that is just one thing, so you know what you're getting, and like as we were saying before, it really helps the artist, doesn't it? Because it's like people from other bands, like their fans have come along and they might like what I'm doing. It's not like I'm in a completely different genre and they're not going to be into what I'm doing at all, so. Yeah,
it's just a bit more focused. Having said, acoustical isn't always strictly acoustical, it's sometimes electrical. There's often drum kits, there's always a wide range of genres.
It's kind of morphed though, isn't it? Because I guess the acoustical name, which you can tell us where that came from in a minute.
Yeah.
But I guess that name came when you were doing the acoustic stuff.
Yeah, it started with acoustic. I called it Acoustic Monday, and Lance Hume said, oh, when's your next acoustic tickle? So I called the next one Acoustic Tickle. And then Steph Kirkup, manager of the Maze, Lance Hume and Dan Beswick from 25 Past all phoned me up separately and been, oh, you know, I've been thinking about Acoustic Tickle, just call it Acoustical. I would never have thought of that, I swear down.
Job done.
It's like, wow, that's genius. So just called it that, and then, you know, people always love the name, and I have nothing to do with the name.
I bet, you know, acoustical doesn't necessarily mean acoustic is sound, so it still works for everything, really.
That's true. Yeah, it's always a bit of a wild card. I mean, for instance, with Gallery 47 playing on this lineup, he's not jazz or soul or reggae, but he's going to come and play because I love Jack, and it's been years since I've seen him, and he was there right from the start of Acoustical. He said he played his first gig for Acoustical. So he'll be a wild card, but there's going to be a lot of people in that room that don't even know who he is, whereas he's got quite a huge fan base.
Right, okay, so...
Like, yeah, he's got his own fan base, which is completely different, but just for that old time's sake, going to put him on. And then the rest of the artists are more the soul and jazz and the reggae.
So, yeah, what else is... you're obviously referring to the birthday. Yes, the 9th birthday. So what else is in store for that night?
Well, we're calling it the Botanical birthday because... fingers crossed and budget permitting, we're going to turn it into like a nice botanical garden in there. So
nice.
Yeah, and then hopefully we're going to have some vegan dessert and some hot food. It's a really good DJ Gaz. Like I said, Nadia and Georgia are collaborating. Then we've got an artist from London coming up called Boadi. I can't pronounce his name. It's Bowardy, and he's like a UK D'Angelo that's been described. He's got a beautiful soul jazz voice. And to top it up, we've got Tony Minviel, who is a Jazz FM DJ and a Leicester resident. He's going to be hosting the whole night, so he's quite a big shot, really. So, yeah, we're very lucky. Nice. It's just going to be really cool. I think just bringing loads of people together to have a good time, that's what it's about.
And that's at the Maze?
Yes, on Sunday the 8th of April.
There we go. What time does it start?
Thank you. It starts at 6.
Okay, great. We've talked about everything I had on my list. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What
I want really is anybody that wants to perform at Acoustical to just send their music. Anybody that might want to work with, volunteer with Acoustical, come forward. Like, There's plenty of job roles for everybody, so if you're interested in getting involved, contact info@acoustickle.com, and yeah, I'm sure we'll fit you in.
Nice. Okay. And any kind of acts, and as you said earlier,
Yeah,
if they're not suitable for what you're doing,
I pass them on, yeah,
brilliant.
definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah, check out the website, there's like lots of info on there.
Great. Thank you very much, Parisa.
Thank you.